Good morning, everyone. You are meeting Mrs. Ndlovu this morning. I hope I find you well. I'm also well. I hope you are busy with PSLE preparations. We are living in tough times, the time of COVID-19. However, we need to accept the fact that COVID-19 is here with us. We only have to maintain social distancing, wear our mask properly, avoid social gatherings, and sanitize and wash our hands regularly. As we're busy with our preparations for PSLE, this morning I've decided to take you through agriculture. I'll take you through the lesson of soil. We know that soil is a broad topic that is covered in agriculture from standard 5 to 7. I'm going to look at what soil is. I'll also look at the composition of soil, which are the soil constituents. I'll also look at how soil is formed. If we look at our slide there, soil is the upper layer of the earth from which plants grow. All plants grow on the soil. That makes the soil important. Without soil, we wouldn't have plants, we wouldn't grow our crops for food, our animals wouldn't have food, so we also would not have our buildings that we have. That makes the soil very important. Looking at that chart there, we have our soil constituency. Air and water, they make up 25% of the soil. This is any soil sample that you can pick will have those soil constituents. Soil constituents are the things that make up the soil. Organic matter is 5% of any soil sample that you can ever have. Organic matter is the most important soil constituency in the sense that this is the most fertile. This is the one that will be very important for the farmers. We also have mineral matter. Mineral matter is also called inorganic matter. This is the one that is formed during the process of weathering. It is basically made up of broken rock particles, and it contains little or no nutrients at all. So it won't be good for plant growth. Soil is formed through the process of weathering. When we talk of weathering, we are talking of the breaking down of rocks to form soil. We have a number of processes of weathering, as you can see there. The first process is physical weathering, followed by biological weathering, and the third one is chemical weathering. Physical weathering has agents. The first agent that I've chosen there this morning is wind. When we talk of wind, we are talking of moving air. As wind blows, it carries with it some small stones. Those small stones can hit against big rocks. They break and form soil. The other agent is temperature changes. We know that it can be very hot during the day. Temperatures fall at night. As the temperatures fall at night, the rocks contract. These rocks would have expanded during the day. So that change from expansion to contraction causes the rocks to break. As they break, they form soil. At times they may not break off, but they are going to crack. And then as they crack, in those cracks, we find that water can collect. At night, when temperatures go down, the water in the cracks may freeze. As the water freezes in the cracks, it forces the cracks to expand, they crack further, and finally break down to form soil. We also have running water as one of the agents of physical weathering. As water flows along the river, it carries with it some small stones. Those small stones may hit against each other or hit against some big rocks along the riverbed, and that will make them break further and form soil. We have biological weathering. By the way, when we talk of biological weathering, we are talking of the breaking down of rocks due to living things. These are plants, animals, and even us, human beings. If we look at the picture there, we can see a tree, and from that tree, the rocks are growing down into the cracks. As the rocks grow down into the cracks, they force the cracks to expand. That will force the rock to break further and form soil. We also have some small animals like the rats, which will always burrow into the soil. As they burrow into the soil, they scratch some rocks that makes them peel off and form soil. We also have humans. During our activities that we do on our daily basis, it can be mining, it can be farming activities. We also break down some rocks, and that will help in the soil formation. When you think of our animals that we keep in agriculture, usually when we take them to their grazing land, they usually walk behind each other. And as they walk behind each other, it's possible that they step on the same stones. And that will force the stones to break further and form soil. We have chemical weathering. When we talk of chemical weathering, we are talking of a change in the structure or makeup of the rock, which makes the rock easily breakable. We know that some rocks contain some minerals like iron in them. When rust takes place, it means where there was that mineral iron, the dust will fall off. That will change the makeup or the structure of the rock. The agents of chemical weathering are carbon dioxide and water and oxygen. When carbon dioxide is mixed with water, it forms a weak acid. When that weak acid reacts with the minerals on the rock will finally break. We also have oxygen. Some rocks, as I said earlier on, they contain iron. When oxygen touches minerals like iron, they react, and that will cause rust. Rust will fall off as that powdery dust, and that will change the makeup of the rock, making it easily breakable. We need to take note of some PSLE questions. At times, they require us to identify the weathering process. They may require us to name the agents of weathering. They may require us just to define weathering. I remember this question in PSLE, which asked about a man who was always tracking his animals on the same track. That question demands application. So it is important that as we prepare for our PSLE, we have our facts at our fingertips. I hope this lesson will benefit you. May we meet next time. Thank you very much.